Good morning. Welcome to the May 2023 Clinical Governance and Professional Practice Update video. My name is Stu Woolley, Paramedic Practice Leader for the Fraser region. And today I am really honoured and grateful to be joining from the traditional, ancestral and unceded lands of the Stolo people, particularly so the Chiam, Seabird Island and Stahelis First Nations in Agassiz in British Columbia. This video this month is going to be a relatively short one for you. So I'm going to begin by introducing the latest Medic Minutes podcast. Released in April 2023, the latest video hosts guest Executive Director of CGPP, Lucas Hawkes-Frost, discussing the pain management fundamentals. This is designed to complement the recent release of the clinical practice updates and the learning of courses for pain management, allowing us to deliver a better standard of care for patients within BC when they're in a pain crisis and increasing our knowledge and awareness of the impacts that we have. Moving on to some practice updates. Following the submission of some PSLSs, and thank you for those, it's been recognised that there's the potential for some vial confusion, specifically around epinephrine and naloxone. It's important to note that these, along with other vials, look the same. The wording is relatively small on them. They're the same colour, same shape and same size. And in a pre-hospital emergency, it can sometimes be easy to get the two mixed up. Those and along with other vials that we have on ambulances and response vehicles for us. It's a good reminder as clinicians that when we're administering medications, although we do this subconsciously, we may want to really double check the medications that we're administering by following the 6 rights of safe administration. So we're looking at the drug, the dose, recognizing if this is the right time, does the patient require this medication, the route of administration, specifically for drugs such as epinephrine, which is typically intramuscular for us and not intravenous for a majority of patients we encounter, and then how we're going to document this on Syringe in the EPCR. Specifically with epinephrine, it's encouraged that the 1 in 1,000 vials are kept separate from other vials on car. This can be done by using these small plastic bottles that are available in stores, and then they're clearly labelled with red letters as epi. So then the risk of administering the wrong drug is really reduced, and it makes it even safer for us. Continuing on with drug administration, we've been made aware that there's a couple of instances where paramedics have used pre-filled sodium chloride syringes in the use of medication administration, specifically so discarding 1 ml of sodium chloride, then drawing back 1 ml of the drug within the pre-filled vial. This does not follow safe practice guidelines and is not recommended in any scenario. We need to refrain from using the preloaded syringes to dilute medications. It's not supported by the service. These syringes are only intended for flushing intravenous lines only. So we do need to keep them for that role. Continuing with medications, I've had several questions sent directly to me about naloxone in palliative emergencies. And we've seen more and more palliative ASTaR referrals come out throughout the province. So thank you so much for using those. We're doing some fantastic work for patients in a palliative crisis in the community. We are seeing more patients, though, in this specific type of crisis experiencing a pain management emergency. We know that in a palliative emergency, a common opioid use is hydromorphone. This is typically 5 times more potent than morphine, so smaller doses are required, but these can be given more frequently. So we do see that patients, families and loved ones will phone 911 due to the adverse effects of opioids. This is typically respiratory depression, where oxygenation and ventilation is often required by first responders and paramedics. There will be the incidents where paramedics will be required to provide naloxone to patients, and we need to be aware of the differences in the drug dosage and the goals specifically for palliative patients. We have a really good clinical practice guideline and a section in the handbook covering palliative emergencies, specifically opioids, general care, delirium and pain management. And the general guideline is that if we are considering naloxone for a palliative patient, we actually reduce the dose that we're giving. Instead of 0.4 milligrams for a opioid overdose in general population, for a palliative patient, we're reducing this to 0.1 milligrams every couple of minutes. The goal here is just to improve respiratory function, not increase level of consciousness. We still need to have the effects of the opioid that they've taken, so their pain is still under control, while we're still increasing respiratory function. Along with that, all paramedics, PCP, EMR, and advanced care paramedics are now able to retake the palliative care courses available on Learning Hub. These are now available to be done annually, so you can redo them every reporting year for you, and there's some great information on there. You can also look at the palliative care toolkit, which is available on the internet as well, which covers 8 or 9 modules and is a really great source of information. So please do have a look within the handbook for more information on that. As we move into some research that we've recently undertaken, and massive congratulations to paramedic practice leader Jen Bolster on the publication of a scoping review. Jen's publication, titled "The Paramedic: Role in Caring for People Who Use Illicit Drugs," looks at the notable lack of evidence base surrounding the contemporary paramedic role in the care provision of people who use drugs in the community. If you'd like a copy of this to read over your morning coffee, I'd highly recommend it. Please do email us at clinicalpractice@bcehs.ca, and we'll make sure a copy of it is sent over to you. On May 25th, 2023, sees us joining the Canadian Paramedic Research Day. This year's theme is Trouble on the Front Line, Evidence-Based Approaches to Paramedics' Biggest Challenges. This is a free event which anybody can join and register for. The details are in the printed version of the ops update for you, or you can visit www.canadianparamedicineresearch.ca, where you can register. The deadline for registration is May 25th, so right up to the date, and it is free. If you can't attend live, then please do register where you get access to the speaker recordings available to watch later on. I'd highly recommend attending some of these. They're really great events. That wraps up the operations update for us from CGPP for May. So just leaves me to say thank you very much for all of the care that you're doing and providing for patients day in, day out, day shifts and night shifts throughout BC. I think it's fair to say, looking at my window, that spring is well and truly on its way. And with that and with spring coming, we get some added weather complications. So rivers are rising, avalanche season with melts is extended, and it's a really good time for us just to refresh ourselves and know where we can find the high risk hazard section in the handbook. Have a look at those. Please do be safe if you're on the water, in the backcountry, on the mountains, skiing, playing, working, and look after one another. And again, thanks for everything that you're doing for patients in BC. It really is appreciated from us in our department. And we'll see you next month. Take care.